In this last example of this chapter, we're going to look at net present value. Financial computations are a very important part of quantitative analysis. So we're going to look at a case where we have a drug company that's introducing a new drug, and there is a development cost at the beginning, and then there is expected net revenue, which is gross revenue minus cost. So you have gross margin, and the gross margin is expected to increase year after year for the first few years of the drug, and after that period, then the revenues, the demand is expected to decline, and therefore the revenue is expected to decline. Now the question is how long it will increase and when will it start declining. So the time period is one unknown that we may want to do what if analysis for, and then the growth rate and the decline rate. Okay, how fast it will grow and how fast it will the demand will decline. So that's another variable which is unknown, and we may want to do some analysis with that. And again, we are expecting the useful lifespan of 20 years, and then the initial outlay is $9.3 million, and then the gross revenue will start at 1.2 million in year 1, and it will increase up to year 8 at 10% rate, and both of these are subject to what if analysis, and it will start declining at a rate of 5% for the rest of the time. And suppose we use an annual discount rate of 12%, what is the net present value? Once we set the model up, then we can do all the what if analysis. So let's go to the Excel file. Now we have the input, the development cost, the gross margin in $1 million initially, and the rate of increase through year 8, rate of decline of revenue through the rest of the time period, and then the discount rate. So let's name these. Okay, now let's set up the margins. Okay, so the very first year, the gross margin is $1.2 million. Okay, now after that, it's going to increase. Okay, but you have to check which year it is. So we need to use an if function. Okay, if the end of the year is less than or equal to the increase through years. Okay, if that is so, then you take the previous gross margin and you multiply by 1 plus the rate of increase. Okay. Otherwise, you take the previous gross margin and then it will start declining, so it is 1 minus the rate of decline. Another bracket for the if. So now we have the gross margin. So let's increase the decimal places to 4. Copy that. And you see up to 8 it is increasing, and after 8 it is declining. Of course, we have set it up in this fashion, and therefore you can change any of these input values and the model will automatically adjust. So the net present value then is, so that is a function in Excel. So net present value. So the first item is rate. So that will be the discount rate. The second is gross margin, the values. Okay, so we have the gross margin values. So that will give us the net present value of the revenues. Okay, at the beginning of year 1, there is a development cost, so minus the development cost. So that will give us the net present value of the investment. So let's increase the decimal places. Okay. So now we're going to set up sensitivity tables. Okay, we want to do sensitivity analysis for the net present value. We want to do two of them. First, the number of years of increase, which is initially assumed as 8, but what if the years of increase last 3, 4, 5, or all the way up to 10 years. So this is a one-way table. So the output is the net present value. So put it at the top in the adjacent column right there. Then highlight, do data, what if analysis table. And this is a column. The input is in a column, so that's right there. So years goes in there. Okay. So now we have the net present value, millions of dollars. Okay. Now we can highlight the losses here if you like. Yeah. Want to make sure that under what conditions our net present value will turn out to be negative. We want to avoid that, so we can do a conditional formatting. Now this time we want to use less than 0, and let's see, we'll use a different format. Now the second sensitivity is about not only the years of increase like here, but also what if the percentage of increase is not 8%, but not 10%, but something smaller. We can do the same thing with the decrease also. So let's start with the net present value in the corner, then highlight. So this is a two-dimensional table. So go to data table. Now here you have to be careful. Now row input is the rate of increase. So rate of increase is B6, and then column input cell is the years of increase. So that's B7. So now we have the net present value under all of those different conditions. Okay. So now we want to highlight the negative net present values. So let's go to less than or equal to 0, and those are the, okay, let's say red text. So those are the loss combinations of years and percentage increase.